Coming to you live from the studios here in Colombo, this is News First Weekend Prime Time News, and I'm Punchani Ebrasinghe. As always, let's start off with a look at your headlines tonight. People in several parts of the island affected by the inclement weather. Met Department says that rains can be experienced in the next 18 hours. The Siddhasa Shakti Sahana Yatra provides aid to the affected people. Chief Justice says that it is the responsibility of judges to stand up against undue pressure. 4 people drowned after a boat capsized this evening in the Thisa River in Hambantota. The police said that another 3 persons have been reported missing. Tragedy struck when the individuals were on a trip. The police said that there were around 20 people aboard the boat at the time of the incident. All of them were males. The Sri Lanka Navy and the police have commenced a search operation to locate the missing persons. The victims are from Homagama. The inclement weather has claimed the lives of 29 people while 11 others remain missing. Assistant Director of the Disaster Management Centre, Pradeep Kodikili, said that over 56,000 individuals have been displaced.
The Met Department says that the active nature of the eastern monsoon will result in torrential rains to be experienced in several areas in the island. The department noted that rains will be experienced in the north central, Uber and eastern provinces as well as on the eastern slopes of the central hills. Our News First correspondent in Matley said that a heavy downpour was experienced since last evening. Heavy rains were also witnessed in the central hills. News First correspondents were able to tour the Kataram Tanna area today. The heavy rains in the area have not gone away. This increases the threat of landslides in the area. We will continue to monitor the situation in Matale. The National Building Research Organization and the Geological Survey Institute notes that attention should be drawn to landslide-prone areas. They note that if mud-colored water continues to flow downhill, locals in the area should be vigilant. Meanwhile, there is a threat of landslides occurring owing to boulders falling downhill in the Ihala Korale Harapoli division in Navalapitiya. Area residents lament that a similar situation took place in April this year as well. Assistant Director of the Kandy District Disaster Management Centre, Indika Ranavira, said that the 18th bend on the Kandy Mahayangane Road was closed due to the collapse of earth embankments. When we inquired from the Geological Survey and Mines Bureau, it noted that a team had been dispatched to study the landslide-prone area in the district. The Department of Irrigation notes that 8 spill gates of the Parakram Samudra and 10 spill gates of the Rajangalin Reservoir were open. District Secretary Nimal Abesiri noted that owing to the spill gates of the Parakram Samudra being opened, the Manampiti area on the Polonnaru Batikuru Road was inundated. Meanwhile, a well in the Kunumulayai area in Paranagama caved in last night. 276 families in the Gatawelu area in Bingiria too were affected by the inclement weather.
A wall collapsed on us when we were inside. All our belongings were lost. We only wanted to get to the other bank with our lives. The heavy showers experienced in the island have claimed many lives. Several incidents of people being rendered helpless and torn livelihoods have begun to surface. This is the story of Perumal Jagajoti, a victim of nature's fury.
In the News First report aired on Tuesday on the inclement weather, the damages caused to the Havati Anikat in Passara was highlighted. A father and his 2 sons were killed when an earth embankment collapsed on their house. The wife of the victim, who was working abroad, arrived in Sri Lanka yesterday. This used to be the house of Perumal Jagajoti. Out of the 3 sons she gave birth to, only one son remains alive. The funerals of the victims were held on the 20th. She couldn't make it in time to see the bodies of her loved ones because of an issue in her passport. This is just one of many tragic stories that have come to light with the inclement weather. The time has come to do something for our very own people who have been affected by gushing waters and layers of earth.
Meanwhile, the Sirasa Shakti Sahana Yatra launched by the MTV MBC network and the Capital Maharaja organization in a bid to provide relief to those affected by the extreme weather conditions in the island visited 3 districts today.
The Sirasa Shakti Sahana Yatra travelled to the districts of Chilao, Batiklo and Matale. The Sahana Yatra team that visited the Matale district were affected by heavy showers in the area. The team, which travelled through difficult terrain, first distributed essential items among people housed in the Rattra Pradesh Sabha building. Thereafter, the Sirasa Shakti Sahana Yatra headed to the Baptist College in Matale before making its way to the Tamil College located in Katathanna. When the Sirasa Shakti Sahana Yatra reached the location, we were able to witness several landslides. The Rattra Divisional Secretary also joined us in the relief effort.
Refugee camps have been placed in 10 areas within the division. By today, the weather has returned back to normal. However, this can get worsened too. We also appreciate the service that is provided from your company.
We were provided with these items. We are very happy. Thank you.
We thank Sirasa TV for helping us.
Individuals who were housed at the Hindu College in Bambaragala also received essential items from the Sirasa Shakti Sahana Yatra. Meanwhile, the Sahana Yatra team reached the Chilao area yesterday. Our comrades who reached the Chilao Divisional Secretariat split up into smaller teams and went out in search of those who needed assistance. The Sahana Yatra team provided those housed at the city Vajiraknyarnaramaya in Virampadiana assistance as well. Residents of Chilao gathered in their numbers awaiting for our arrival despite having to wait till late last evening. Another team provided aid to those affected in the West Manuan areas.
We are very proud that Sirasa TV provided relief for those affected.
We admire Sirasa. We respect such actions. May you be blessed to carry out more good deeds in the future.
As the Sirasa Shakti Sahana Yatra team arrived in Chilao late yesterday, we handed over the aid that we carried to the Chilao Divisional Secretariat and they were eventually distributed today. Our comrades who travelled to Batiklo reached the area at around 1 a.m. this morning. Upon receiving advice from District Secretary P.S.M. Charles, aid was first distributed among those in the Sittandi area. The Sirasa Shakti Sahana Yatra also visited the Michinagar area in Iravur. Essential items were distributed among those temporarily housed at the Sahir Maulana College. The Sahana Yatra team also travelled to the Vandaramulle area to provide relief.
Moving on to other local news now. Chief Justice Dr. Shirani Bandaranaike says that sitting judges should not get involved in politics. She made this statement during the 2012 annual conference of the Judicial Service Association, which was held this morning.
The event was held under the theme Independence of the Judiciary. Chief Justice Dr. Shirani Bandaranaike was the chief guest at the event.
Sitting judges should never get involved in politics. These principles stand as testament to the paramount importance of giving a fair trial to an accused, which in itself is a stalwart cornerstone of our Constitution. No person's rights will be infringed without a fair trial before an impartial and an independent tribunal operating according to fair procedure. Article 13(3) of our Constitution clearly states that any person charged with an offence shall be entitled to be heard at a fair trial by a competent court. In order to uphold independence, a judge must be willing and able to make many sacrifices. A judge must be willing and able to sacrifice what others are capable of enjoying in order to uphold such independence. He must stand firm through any and all apprehensions and want of personal benefits in the name of justice.
The Chief Justice also shared these views at the annual meeting.
The worst judge is not merely one who is deaf, but one who also succumbs to pressure. It is as much the responsibility of the judge to stand above it without any fear or favor as it is the responsibility of the legislature, the executive, and the society at large to ensure that they are capable of discharging their constitutional duties without undue adverse intimidation. I have the fullest confidence that my judges, our judges, have the ability to stand firm and stand strong. Duty before self and justice before all.
The keynote address was delivered by Justice C.V. Vigneshwaran.
The executive was already hegemonic. Now the hegemonic executive president had been made a juggernaut. Were the consequences of removing vital checks on the executive unknown to our higher judiciary when they passed the 18th Amendment? The process adopted to impeach the present holder of the office of the Chief Justice has been roundly condemned as unconstitutional and violative of any notion of natural justice or fair play. The public domain is filled with learned discourses on this debacle, and there is little that can be added except that it is the logical extension of the process of aggrandizement of power by the executive to the detriment of the judiciary and democracy. And if I may say so, honest reflection will show that the judiciary played its role in allowing this to happen. Sorry to say that. There is also nothing that a tyrant fears more than an independent judge. A dictator is not as worried about protesting or striking judges as he is about judges who uphold the law. As judges, we must remember that manipulating crowds and processions are in the domain of the political animal. Judges who, by virtue of their office, are isolated cannot win that battle easily. Being independent does not mean holding against the powerful, but being unafraid to do so.
For more views expressed by the Chief Justice Dr. Shirani Bandaranaike and Justice Vigneshwaran, tune in to Complete Speech on Monday night after primetime news. Time now for the newspaper cartoon of the day. A public meeting was held in Kurunagala today under the auspices of former Army Commander Sarath Fonseca to raise awareness on the present political situation.
The lawyers will not be spared. The Chief Justice also will not be spared. If they think that they don't want anyone, they will destroy them. They have no value for life. We are ready to face this. I think the 20 million people in this country need not to be afraid to face this situation. I'm 100% sure that the rulers of this country may start shooting people.
විශේෂයෙන්ම සඳහන් කරන්න කැමති අපේ අග්‍ර විනිශ්චයකාරතුමියට වෙලා තියෙන අසාධාරණය.
I would like to pay special attention to the unfair treatment of the Chief Justice. Even if she sits on the top position, the government is challenging her. I see this as a disappointing situation. We need to be proud of the fact that she is the first female Chief Justice of the country. Therefore, if the Chief Justice is treated unfairly, what will happen to us?